Today we are concluding our lesson of Newton's 3 laws of motion by looking at examples of each of Newton's 3 laws. I will point out to where the law really stands out. Let's begin with, obviously, Law 1. Inertia, or an object in motion, will stay in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. Also, an object at rest will stay at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. So, here are some of the examples. So, this first picture is of a young girl in the air. Now, if you took away gravity and friction, she would continue flying forward and up until she hit the ceiling, and then she would continue back down. So she is the object in motion, and since there is such a thing called gravity and friction, that slows her down and makes her in an arced movement like that. And this will allow her to hit the mat and complete her vault. Now, in this next picture, it shows a different girl in the air. If you took away gravity and friction in this picture, she would keep flying up until something stops her or pushes her in a different direction. And like the last picture, she is the object in motion, and due to gravity, she lands back on the beam. Hopefully. See? Now, in this picture introduces the second law of motion, which is F equals ma, or force equals mass times acceleration, meaning the mass of an object multiplied by how fast it is accelerating is the total amount of force that the object is producing. So in this image, let's say she was accelerating at 9.8 meters per second, which is the acceleration of gravity, and she weighs about 35 kilograms. Then the total amount of force would be 345 newtons. Here's another example of Newton's second law. Let's say she was accelerating at 7.5 meters per second, and she weighs about 50 kilograms. Then the total amount of force here would be 375 newtons. And one more. Now this is the same girl as the last picture, so she will weigh still 50 kilograms. But the difference now is she's allowing gravity to pull her down, so she's accelerating at 9.8 meters per second. So the total amount of force is 490 newtons. And finally, we're on to Newton's third law of motion, action-reaction, or for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. In this picture, it shows a girl hitting a springboard. The springboard pushes her back with the same amount of force she hit the springboard with, launching her into the air. Now, in this next example, another girl is doing a handstand. The action-reaction that is happening here is that the beam is pushing up on her with the same amount of force that she is pushing down on the beam to keep her upright. Same as this picture as well. So this concludes our unit on Newton's 3 laws of motion. Stay tuned in for next week to begin our unit on gravity.